What's up, everybody? How's it going? Today I'm here to bring you my 3-in-1 Locals Adamancipator deck profile. This deck is very, very fun. It's definitely one of the better rogue decks out there. I can make some pretty nasty boards. And yeah, I'll go through my matchups. I played against a Dinos. I 2-0'd them. I played against Virtual Worlds, 2-0'd them, and then I played against Layer Infernoids, 2-0'd them, and then I lost to a Despia Fallen Albaz type deck. That deck is pretty interesting. First time I played against the Despia stuff, so I didn't really know what to do. And honestly, my hands weren't the best, but yeah, with that all the way, let's just get right into the deck profile. So first up, you play Triple Researcher. This is the best Adamancipator monster. It summons itself if you have a rock, and then all the Adamancipator tuners have the same effect. They can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck and special summon level 4 or 4 lower non-tuner rock monster. And then after that we have Triple Analyzer. This one's the worst of the tuner Adamancipators because it summons itself if only your opponent controls monsters. But it's the best one for going second. And then next up, you play Triple Seeker. This is the second best one. You can summon it if you control an Adamancipator monster. That's it for the tuners. And then lastly, I'm playing 2 Dragite. I'm sort of on and off about this card. I typically side one out when I know I'm going second because you don't want to draw it. Its effect is that when it's summoned by an Adamancipator card, you get to draw cards. That's why I play it. It's just another rock and it's free draws. And then for more rocks, you have to play the Triple Guardian. This card is insane. It gives you protection mid-combo if you hit it. And it's a decent normal summon to and then summon your Researcher. And it's also 1900 attack, which is relevant. Excuse me. And then you play Triple Supplier. This is like the god tier extender of the deck. It can summon itself from your hand if a face-up rock monster leaves the field. And then if it's special summoned, you can add any... If a monster lists Iron Core, Quack, and Mirable, you just add Guardian. So, very good card. Definitely up this deck's power quite a bit. And I only played 2 Doki Doki. I see some lists play 3, some play 2, some play 1. I think it's personal preference. I think 2 is absolutely perfect because if it's your normal summon, then like you're sort of in a bad situation. That's why I think playing 2 is perfect. You don't want to see it too much, but you want to see it enough. You want to hit it off your Adamancipator effects. And it's very good discarding level 4 to go into your Prank Kid stuff as well. Or discarding level 4 to go into Analyzer or something like that. And speaking of Prank Kids, you play Triple Rock, and then I do play the Dropsies. You can play the Fire one. I just think gaining life points is more valuable than burning. Yeah, and then some people play like the Fusion build, play all 3 attributes and then play Battle Butler, but I just think it's too much. And it takes up another extra deck slot, and the extra deck is already super tight. And then for my Spice of the deck, I'm playing 3 Ad Hard. This card is absolutely insane. It specials itself if you control no effect monsters. So going first or second, it's literally just a free extender, and it's a level 1 Earth Tuner to make Nat Beast with, which Nat Beast is just so incredibly broken right now. And this card is just so good. It's just a free body, and then you can summon it off a Halc, and it's just so good. And then I'm playing Triple Exceed. This card is a staple in this deck just to make Granite, or just free extension. It's just so good. Lastly, for the monsters, I play Triple Ash. Just standard a hand trap this format, so you can play whatever you want instead of these. On the spells, I play Triple Signs. This card is literally so insane. It's just a once per turn monster reborn, and you can stack your deck if you summon an Adamancipator. It's so good. And then lastly, the 1 Pranks and the 1 Called By. You don't have to play the Pranks. You search off a Doodle Doo. Excuse me. In your combo. And I typically side it out when I know I'm going second, or side it out either way. It just gives you a free draw during the end phase and puts back your Prank Kids. So if you happen to draw like your Roxy's and you have a Dropsies in deck to still go through and stuff like that. and called by is self-explanatory. And lastly, I play triple imperm. This is sort of a flex spot. I typically, when I draw the imperms and like a Roxy, I banish the imperm off the Roxy because the rest of the cards in my hand are for like combo pieces or exchanges and stuff like that, or follow-up. So like this could be sort of anything you want. This could be more rocks, this could be more extenders, or more hand traps, whatever you want, really. Now for the extra deck, you play the one Meow and Doodle. The Meow, as well as it made Prank Kids bust, it also make this deck extremely broken. Normal summoning a Prank Kids and then going off into this and then doing everything is just so incredibly broken. And the Doodle is just there to keep going into your extension plays and grabbing the pranks to get a free draw at the end phase, so very good. And then let's go to XCs. I'm playing Abyss Dweller and Granite. This could be any XCs you want, but I think Abyss Dweller is probably the safest play. And Granite is very good, just searches you any rock monster. You typically are searching an Adamancipator or like a Supplier or Follow-Up or something like that. I do sometimes find myself missing a second copy of Granite in like really grindy game states, but that's just something that's come up over time of playing it, but I think one is definitely fine. And then we'll go to Synchros. Adamancipators, you play Raptite, the Fire, Leonite, and then Dragite. Some people don't play Leonite, but I think it's good because sometimes you need something to just go in your follow-up plays and just attack and get like some card advantage back. Raptite, self-explanatory, just so good. It can be a good interruption as like a DD Crow type effect, and it just summons any rock from your deck. And Dragite, I find myself saving my Dragite and going into Savage Dragon and keeping this for my follow-up play just to break their board if they end up breaking my board and setting up something small or big, and then you just use this to bounce their entire board back. But Dragite is extremely good. It also has a spell and trap effect negation if you have a water engrave. So yeah, very good. And next up I play Savage Dragon, as I said, Naturia Beast, and then Herald of the Arclight. Now, Herald of the Arclight is decent. I only made it once this tournament. You typically only make it when you have a Doki Doki, because that's the only way you can get a level 2 non-tuner on your field. But it does come up sometimes, and it's pretty decent. And the Naturia Beast is literally just so insane. I think it's the MVP of the deck, honestly, when you're able to get him out. And then Savage Dragon, so yeah, just so good. And then lastly for Lynx, Halc, IP, Unicorn, Appaloosa, and then Axis Code Talker. The only ones out of these that are sort of flex spots would be IP and Unicorn. I didn't make them at all. Axis Code can be any Link 4. It can be Borload, Bortle, Sword. I know it's very expensive right now. But yeah, if you don't have it, play Bortle Sword. And then Appaloosa, you need it for the combo. You typically end with 3 negates. When you go like full board, like sometimes like your zones are a little messed up and you have too many monsters, and you sort of have to make it so it only has 2 negates. But either way, you're ending with like Nat Beast. Like one game ended with Nat Beast, Savage, Dragite, and then Appaloosa for 2, and it was just too much for him. Then Halc, this card is insane. You can summon any of your Adamancipator tuners, and then your Adhara for Naturia Beast plays, but that's pretty much it. This is definitely one of the more fun decks I've played in a while. I played it when it came out with like Link Cross and all that shenanigans and Block Dragon. Oh my god, those were the days. It was so broken. Oh man, just thinking about it is so awesome. But yeah, that was my deck profile. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about it, don't be afraid to leave them in the comments section below, and I'll see you in the next one.